Okay, so in this one we have single digit Qs. Okay, so it's gonna be kind of the same stuff. I don't know why you would play this one. Don't let your opponent approach unless, like, I don't know, maybe it's some psychological trick.
So you should have played D17.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. This is very speedy. Probably though, I'd want to play here because again, open sides. There, this distance, like this star point's there, star point's here, so it's one under the star point. Well, there's this one's one line bigger, so I would want to be on this side. So open sides. Okay, we're playing Joseki. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Okay, so so this is a good principle. Like, what are we doing here? Like, let's just apply the same stuff we were just talking about. What are we doing? Are we playing defense? Okay, where are we at in the defense? Make a base? Then just make a base. Settling on our opponent's side of the board is super nice. Like, they have no framework here. They have nothing to build. So this is really nice. Like, I love it. It's simple. This one looks like I'm planning to attack white. How are you going to attack? White has a base, and white can expand easily. If you wanted to attack, first you must take the base and unsettle, and then you can surround. Because if you try to surround, they're just going to live with points. You want them to live with barely any points. So this one doesn't make sense to me. Okay, white approaches here. The right side's the open side. So if we're playing defense, make a base. If we're not playing defense and we're playing big move, we should be playing maybe offense for the basics. But I understand that we can Tanuki that at the higher levels, so it's, I guess, an argument. But if we're playing big move, then shouldn't the right side be the big move? Unless we're making some big combination, which I don't think we are. So just these little questions, right? These little questions. Like here, if the right side is the big area, then just play. Even if they do this, like, I wouldn't even care. Let's just simplify it. Let's just do, this is my double digit Q Joseki. Like, this one's not actually the Joseki, but this is what I told double digit Qs to do because it's easy. You just fix your cutting point. Like, they try to go in, you block, fix your cutting point, and make your base. It's super solid, super easy to use. At single digit Q, we need to learn the other ones, but the point is, look at the direction of play, the right side, and now look at white's. Do you think white's got this massive area? It's invadable, and then you go on top? I mean, it doesn't look that hard to deal with. So why would we want to stop it? It feels strange. Okay, this is good. We lost the base to run away. Okay, I like it. Too slow. 1 point jump or Tiger's Mouth. Tiger's Mouth, if we're taking a liberty, probably just want speed here, though. So maybe just 1 point jump. Or we can try to take the corner to unsettle black while making eye space. Second line is one of these things that are special. Second line, which a very obvious example of this is here. Second line is actually bad in the opening and early in the middle game, except when it has to do with bases. Like here, you are stealing black's eye space and base while also making some of your own. So if you're just playing defense, you'd play here. But if you're also taking into account black's base, you'll poke his base first and then play here. But if black ignores, then you're going to take the base, and now you make your own base while taking your opponent's. It's even more effective. But like even a simple Joseki like that has to do with bases. So that's why maybe this one's possible as well. But this is too slow. Since I have a weak group here, I just want to settle. So 2 stones, jumps 3, boom, settled. And now I can just focus on my weak group. One problem at a time.
Sorry,
I don't need
Sean,
multiple weak groups here. Yep.
Wait, you were bringing up bases like when you played R2 as white. Is it like should one be thinking about bases even when groups have a ton of space to run? I mean, that black triangle is like totally fine, right?
If I play here and take your base, I get forcing moves. Okay, so this has to do with how do we win and go? Like, is it about making the most points and go? No, because 100 points, the first 200 points doesn't win the game. It's having 1 point more than your opponent wins the game. So, okay, now we know Go is a game of exchange rates, not of like making points. Points actually don't matter. It's what is the exchange rate compared to my opponent. Okay, that's what matters. Okay, so now let's talk about big moves. If I play star point, you play star point, it's an even exchange. Okay. Now, if one player is a bit better at the opening or combination and stuff, then yeah, they can get more points and stuff, and they'll have a positive exchange rate. But let's assume that you're playing someone your level. Ideally, they're going to have the exact same kind of opening exchange rate as you. So we go into middle game. We still are making big moves, we're still exchanging, and what we're doing is actually setting up positions. We're not actually trying to make territory. There is a territorial style, but more commonly we're making positions, frameworks, and moyos. What are those? Those are areas that you control. And why is that important? Is because when your opponent goes in them, you are going to attack. Attacking is forcing moves. Not that we're going to kill. If we kill them, great. But if we attack them, they usually will make like 1 or 2 points for 2 eyes at the most, or 0 points with their dragon while running away. And every single one of your moves are likely going to get value. Even if it's just 1 point at a time, it's positive Sente value. So they have to respond or they die. Okay. So you're getting value. They're not. You do that in Sente, and then you go back to a big move and keep exchanging big moves. And everything you got from that attack is free. It's a positive exchange rate. So attacking is a positive exchange rate. And if you consider forcing moves a type of attacking, forcing moves are a positive exchange rate. So let's say I play here and you're like, I'm going to go play a big move. Well, guess what? You played one big move, and let's say I get some sort of attack off, right? It doesn't matter what, like just something. Okay, I get some sort of attack off, and you lose control of this area. So this one is more about canceling, so it's not a good example. But let's say like I'm
We lost your sound, Sean.
Oh no.
He'll be back.
Heard any good jokes lately, Milan?
No. I've been hanging with my family. It's been it's Eastern in Serbia.
Wait, are you in Serbia right now?
Yeah, man.
Whoa, how long are you there for?
Till the end of the summer.
Holy crap.
I didn't go home for 9 years, man.
You just haven't been home at all, right?
Yeah, 9 years. So now I'm
Wow.
back home. This is the first Easter in 9 years that the whole family's together. So it's like, it's a big deal.
Yeah. Are you guys playing a lot of guitar?
Huh?
You and your brother playing guitar?
Oh, God. Yeah, I'll send you videos.
Oh, shit. I want to see that.
It's crazy, dude. It's so funny because we are both out of rhythm, but together, right? We just understand each other so well that we are like both off in the same way. So it sounds like,
You're identical twins, right?
No, but we do look alike a lot.
Oh, okay. Who's older? Or you're twins, though, right?
Yeah, he's 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry about that.
No worries, Sean.
No worries.
I lost internet for a second. I had to reset it. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did I leave off?
You were talking about you were like saying that, okay, if black played a big move, yeah, that number 2, and then we got an attack off on the black triangle.
Yeah. So did you hear me how I say that is the positive exchange rate?
Pretty much. I think that, yeah, you made that point that like if you can take away a base, you can get forcing moves with a good exchange rate.
Right. So when I'm playing 1, I'm sort of setting up the idea of I'm threatening to get free moves in this area, and that's kind of what these ideas are. Is like I'm playing defense. This is really high level thinking, but I'm saying I'm making eye space, but I'm also taking yours to set up possible forcing moves in the future or possible attacks in the future in this area. So that way I'm saying if you don't respond, you will not control this area. I will. And I will get positive exchange rates in this area. But guess what? That's also what like frameworks are for. So like this San Rense or whatever formation. Let's say we just defended and I played San Rense. Is this territory? Absolutely not. This is control. This is a framework. This is a moyo. This is about saying I'm going to make a positive exchange rate in this area. And that's how you win at Go is you make positive exchange rates. You make these ideas, you play very efficiently. And then for defense, what is defense? Defense is preventing negative exchange rates. It's taking the time and spending the least amount of moves possible to make sure that you don't get a negative exchange rate in the future. And that's why we have defense. That's why we make our bases, so we don't get attacked in the future. Like, this move may look smaller than like a big move, but guess what? If our opponent plays a big move and we play a big move, it's an even exchange rate. What I don't want is that negative exchange rate. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So white played, black played. Yeah. So this one, I just don't like it. If this one looks like I'm running away, or either that or making fourth line territory, I just want to settle because I have urgency. I have a weak group on the board. I have a group without a base. Okay, so I want to fix this problem so I can just have one problem at a time. So that's why I like this move better than this move. This one looks like I'm trying to apply pressure while also making territory, but it's not taking in our weak group into account. And now he goes, I go. This is getting a weak group next to a weak group, which is really dangerous. So imagine I take your base, you take my base, I make my base and also take your base. You gonna slide? I mean, that would be clever because you're defending that while taking my ice base. And then let's say I run away, I lean on strength. Well, every single move is attacking you. Every single move, you're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. You got to be careful about that.
Couldn't white connect at P8 there? Instead of the slide, right?
Oh, knights moves are cuttable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, knights moves are cuttable. So you got to be very careful about that. Whenever you're playing in an area with an unsettled group, you don't control that area as long as you have unsettled group. So you have to be very careful about it. And when we were talking about reading, right? Well, guess what? That's what I just did. I just read. I said, I take the base, you make the base, I take the base, you make and take the base, and I run away. That's reading. That's hard. But it's based off of fundamentals, which is bases and cuts, because I'm cutting off your group's connection to a base. I'm also making a base. Like that is what I would read. That's what I think about. Whereas maybe a lot of other players would be like, oh, I'm going to try to attach to this group and surround and kill it. Who has time to read that? We can't read that. That's maybe if I had like 2 hours, I might consider it. But all I'm looking at is bases, just simple stuff. All right, so now we're going over here. So this is another good example of what I mean by reading weird stuff, is because what does this have to do with anything? Is this his base? No. Is it my base? No, it's cuttable. It's not even connected. So it looks like I'm not connected. So it looks like I'm sort of some sort of reduction. Like, okay, is this the big move? No. The big move is up top where I have a weak group as well. So I want to play up top. I want to play on the right. That's where all the baseless groups are. Big move wise, open area is probably up top. No one really has a large framework yet. And then we're playing here. So once you understand like these questions of what is your goal, defense, offense, or big move, and understanding what those are, then it's a matter of reviewing your games and identifying moves like these. Like I guarantee you, I think at 8Q, it's about 15 moves or so, 15 to 20 moves if you include Yosei and stuff. It's like anywhere from 15 to like maybe 20 to 25 moves you waste. So from 5Q, I think it's at least 5 to 10 moves. And this is compared to like, I guess my level. So if we compare it to a pro, there's probably way more, right? But just compared to like a Don level, which is what I try to get all the Q players to, is like, just get to my level and then pass me. But how many times do you play moves like this? If I just ignore this, what are you going to do? What does it do? It's not threatening my base. I have no cutting points. I don't really care about the Moyo here. I'm still at weak groups. So if I just go attack you and defend myself, what does this stone do? So how many times can you catch that in your games? How many moves can you get more than your opponent? I consider this like a passing type move. So how many more moves can you play more than your opponent? Or how many times do you practically pass in your games? That's what you look for in your game reviews. Make sure your moves have purpose. So white defended and black defended. Fix the cutting point. Okay, what value did I get? Some influence. Is that really important right now, though? I don't think so. But white thinks it is and goes and immediately reduces. And I'm over here like, what about this stone? What about all these groups over here? Well, this group is not quite settled. It's a little bit out and also getting support, but it's like still not quite done. And this is where you get caught up in all these ideas of like maybe strong players be like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting all these moves? It's because understanding bases and fundamentals. Okay, and now we just got to cut it. Like, what about just reduce them right here, or even right here, right? If our opponent goes in, we have a base. We're not weak, but if we get too close to thickness, our opponent takes our base. Well, guess what? We don't have time to attack this anymore. Now we have to run, and then black makes a base, and it all comes back down to these fundamentals. What value did we get with our stone? I mean, we stopped black from getting value, so you could argue that, like, okay. But if black gets to attack us, like here, then maybe we didn't prevent value. He still gets value. So here, to me, this feels like a fight over Dame, almost. Not quite Dame, but like it feels like a fight over Dame. So black makes the base, okay. And guess what? I have a weak group. Guess what I should do? Play defense and surround. I defend myself while also surrounding. That's single digit Q defense. If I was a double digit Q, I wouldn't even worry. I don't care. Just jump. Who cares? Defense. I got to understand single purpose moves first. At single digit Q, that's when I'll start thinking, okay, can I defend myself more actively? Maybe I can surround this way. If there's a cutting point, oh no, cutting points. If you don't know how to handle that, guess what? You can also go here. It doesn't matter. We're not pros. We don't have to play perfect. Just stay connected and surround your opponent while running away. It's multi-purpose, it's solid, and effective. But as soon as we start doing all kinds of crazy crap like this, well, now what if our opponent sacrifices and starts attacking us? Well, guess what? We didn't have a base and we tried to be clever, and that's how it backfires. So I need a conclusion from this game. Probably just understanding how many groups had no bases, because this game is everyone's fighting, but no one knows what the profit is. Like how many fights are in this game, or how many weak groups? Like there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this became a weak group, 8, because you almost lost the base here. So maybe 7.5. 7.5 weak groups on this board, but no one has territory. It means we're fighting over nothing. There's no one's aiming for profit. No one's aiming for a positive exchange rate. Everyone's just saying, I don't want them to have something. Also, I'll go make a weak group over there, and they expect their opponent won't get profit. They'll just think, I have a group over here. I'm not going to die, so you're not going to get value. But that's not how it works. It's just your opponents aren't attacking you properly. If they attack you properly, they will get value because it'll be a positive exchange rate. Might not be much, but they will get more than you in that area. And that's all that matters is the positive exchange rate. So I would say in this one, there's too many weak groups. So understand it's okay to take the time to fix them and then move on. I don't think it's a bad thing.